Well, hey everyone, happy June. I'm going to give you a quick real estate update for the month of June based on the data that we just received from May and up until today, June 4th, including mortgage applications and interest rates and how that affects you in today's market, and also what we're looking at going forward for the rest of the year. Let's jump right in. I have new listings for the month. This is in the greater Los Angeles area. This is all the data included from our local MLS. So new listings for the month are declining this month, which is, let's look at the trend. June last year also declined at this time. July and June the previous years also declined at this time. And June was up at this time in 2022. And 2021 also up. So this year, in the last 2 years, June listings have been coming down a little bit earlier than usual. However, something very noteworthy this year in particular is that the active listings are climbing significantly. This is the highest number of active listings that we have had in the last 5 years since COVID. Let's look at a longer time frame, shall we? Here we go. This is the highest number of active listings we've had since COVID, but not quite to the 2019 levels yet. So still a ways to go to get back to 2019 and before, but definitely the highest since COVID. And let's go back to looking at the last 5 years. Now the days on market have officially turned a corner for the year. I mean, nothing is set in stone. They could change and start speeding up, like properties could start selling faster again like they did in 2021 or 2020 maybe. But for now, it looks to me like the cyclical trend of properties on the market for a longer period of time, as they were at the end of 2022 and as they were at the end of 2023 and as they were at the end of 2024, seems to be taking shape now here in the second half officially, or as we approach the second half of 2025. However, something to think about, keep your eye on, is the fact that there were two massive fires in the Palisades and Altadena this year in January, and people are just starting to settle with their insurance now, 6 months later. My clients are telling me, I finally got my insurance amount settled. I'm finally ready to go shopping. I know how much money I can spend. I know what I can afford to buy. So listings are high, active listings are high, especially land in Altadena. There's a ton of vacant land. There's 100 listings on the market in Altadena of vacant land right now. People that have decided not to rebuild and they would rather just sell the land and move on and start over. But soon, towards the second half of the year, people are going to start having money in their pockets, burning a hole in their pockets, as I like to say. And I think they're going to want to spend it. So keep an eye on this trend. Typically, days on market increase, meaning properties sit around for longer towards the second half of the year. However, this year could have a twist in that people might be coming into money soon and going shopping soon. So hopefully that picks up for my seller's sake. But if you're a buyer out there right now, this might be a good time to start looking. You might have a little bit more leverage than you had in previous months, like the beginning of the year when things were flying off the shelf. Now, months of supply also climbing, which is related. Basically, it means if all the listings that are currently on the market stayed on the market, how many months would it take for us to sell them all? And that's up to 4 months of supply now, which is also the highest we've seen in the last 5 years. And also, interestingly, it is back to 2019 levels. So months of supply are back to 2019, 2017, 2016. We're pretty much back up there, which is noteworthy. Now, the holy grail, price per square foot. How are prices doing? We have tapered off or flattened out for the year, which is typical around this time of year. You'll see this natural curvature. It goes up, and then in the middle of the year, it kind of flattens out and starts to come down towards the end of the year. I would think that we've tapered off a little earlier this year than usual. And again, keep an eye on this. If people start spending their insurance money in the second half of this year, that could reverse course quickly. But I am trying to give you an idea of what has happened historically and what to look for going forward. Now, mortgage rates the last 3 weeks have come down about a quarter point, which is welcome news for buyers and sellers who are looking for buyers. And the reason is because mortgage applications have dropped this week by 4%. If we look at the economic calendar here on investing.com, one of my favorite websites, it tells us that mortgage applications week over week have decreased by 3.9%, almost 4%. Something else to note, which is watched carefully among financial people, is that the employment has gone up. According to ADP, non-farm employment has gone up by only 37,000 jobs, which is less than the forecast, which was 111,000 jobs. So basically 1/3 of the new jobs were added compared to the expectations, 1/3 of the expectations, were added. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Those two things, in my opinion, are causing mortgage rates to come down this week, which are lower applications and less new jobs than we expected. So I hope this information is helpful for you. We do have a grant, $20,000 for free and no PMI if you're buying, which we can also use to position your property if selling. So please call me and let me know where you live, and I'll be able to check the address and let you know if your property qualifies for that grant so that we can market it in our listing and help you get better offers. Please feel free to subscribe and share this with anyone and save it for future reference, and let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear your thoughts also. God bless you. Take care.